You're tuning in to the Black Hollywood Live Network, featuring news, interviews, and commentary on all things Black Hollywood. Hollywood redefined. From Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is Black Hollywood Live. Next, featuring intimate and in-depth interviews with Black Hollywood's next edition of stars and influencers. Black Hollywood Live. Hollywood redefined.
You're listening to Black Hollywood Live.
And now, the host for Black Hollywood Live, next.
Welcome to Black Hollywood Live's Next, where we keep you up to date on the latest, hottest things in Black Hollywood. I'm your host, Ebony K. Williams, my lovely co-host, Miss Jessica King,
hey,
producer for Dish Nation, and the Nick Perdue, comedian extraordinaire. We are joined in house today by a very special young lady. She has been doing it and doing it well since she was a little girl, and now she's all grown up, starring in a new series on television. Welcome, Erica Dickerson.
thank you for having me.
How are you?
I am good. I love your intro.
Oh, thank you.
She's
Well,
good.
it was custom made just for you, Erica. Well, thank you for joining us. We were talking before the show that you just flew in from Chicago and basically raced straight to us from LAX. So
Yeah.
Leaping through
Weird.
hoops for us.
yeah,
No, I gotta get there.
already
love
on
it.
the right foot, Erica. So let's jump in. So your father, Eric Dickerson, NFL legend and now even in the NFL Hall of Fame. What was it like growing up the daughter of a professional athlete?
It was pretty normal. I have one memory of my dad playing football. I always tell everyone I'm kind of an embarrassment to the Dickerson legacy because I don't know anything about football, even though I went to a football high school.
That's
So, I mean, I'm not, it was just a normal
Yeah.
upbringing.
Yeah.
But I was actually raised by my mother. So,
Okay.
they split the time, but most of the time I spent with my mom.
Yeah, so it wasn't a big deal for you. But did you feel like other people knew who your father was? And
I mean, my name, I can't escape it.
yeah, right. Because it's not just that you're just a Dickerson. You're Erica Dickerson, obviously a
Eric,
derivative of Eric. Right.
No,
Yeah.
definitely. It was definitely in auditions and school. When I was in high school, my track coach just assumed I was fast. Like
funny.
the moment that I took the test to get into high school, he was met me outside like, "So you're gonna be on the track team, right?" I
Right.
was like, "You don't even know if I can run."
Right. Are you athletic?
I was athletic. In high school, I played soccer. I played soccer for 10 years, and I did end up running track, even though I did not enjoy it much. But then after high school, I kind of stopped being so athletic. I just hit the gym.
Got it. Well, looking good, girl. Looking good.
Yeah. So, I mean, did you really realize, like how good your father was of a football player when you were younger, or just kind of?
No, I really didn't. I wasn't until I was older and more aware when like my guy friends were like, "What? You don't know? You don't know he has this record and this record?" I mean, as a kid, all I knew were the teams he played for. I could just name them off and I'd know what it meant. But no, I didn't realize. But now, obviously, I do, and I'm very proud of my daddy.
Yeah.
Well, both of your parents were really successful. We mentioned your dad was a top athlete, and your mom was also a celebrity makeup artist. Growing up, did you ever feel some sort of pressure to be just as successful as they were?
No, I really didn't actually. I kind of had my own, both my parents are in different fields. I mean, my mom is in beauty and, behind the scenes, and my dad, I guess he was in front of the camera, but in a different way. And so I didn't really feel pressured to be, do what they had done or anything like that. No.
Was there anything that you took away from their success?
Definitely. I mean, my mom is super independent. She definitely speaks her mind, and so I've definitely learned that from her. And same with my dad. He's a Virgo, so he's very stern.
We do tend to be that way.
Oh,
yeah.
is that you a Virgo? We have a Virgo in the house?
Yes, a Virgo
Okay,
in the
all
house.
right.
We direct, right? Like we just
Very direct.
like no sugarcoating whatsoever. Yeah.
No, and both my parents are very humble people, and so I definitely took that from them, and I try to live my life in that way.
Oh, that's great.
Well, like you said, your mom was behind the scenes and your dad was in front of the scenes, kind of. Did you always know that you wanted to be in part of the entertainment industry?
I did. When I was a kid, I was always, performing for anyone that would watch. And my cousin, she's an actress as well. She's the one actually who really inspired me to pursue acting as a profession, because I was a kid and I didn't really understand. I mean, I would see kids on TV, but I don't know, it didn't click that I could do that. And so when I saw her on television, I was like, oh, I could do that. I could be on TV and have fun and be other people and, create. And so I think once I saw that, then I was bit by the acting bug for sure.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
So growing up and actually being originally from Los Angeles, it's a pretty rare thing. There's tons
Yeah.
of transplants, but not many LA natives. How much of West Coast culture do you think helps shape your individual personality?
I mean, definitely. I mean, I think I'm definitely an LA girl.
Yeah.
I just got back from Chicago, and they're like, "You're not from here. You're from LA." I was like, "Yeah, how'd you know? I don't blend in. What? Am I not wearing enough black? What?
What gave it away? Right, right.
I'm I'm from the Valley. You can probably hear it in sometimes my Valley girl comes out. But I don't have any shame. Yes, I'm from the Valley, like totally.
Ah, love
Yeah,
it.
Encino.
There you
Actually,
go.
my mom lives in Encino.
Oh, perfect.
And I would definitely say that it definitely influenced me. Also being my mother, she's Mexican, and being able to be around, and I feel like, especially in Los Angeles, we have a pretty strong sense of, there's a large Mexican community, and I
Yes.
definitely embrace that side of me, as well as, being African American. But I love LA. I definitely think I'm an LA girl for sure.
Excellent.
That's good. That's good. Because there's only like one of 7 of us left now.
Oh, you're from LA?
From LA.
Okay, there you go.
Born and raised. So now, do you see the industry differently because you are, from LA versus like, because millions of people come out here every day trying to be an actress or actor or whatever. And so like their vision's totally different than what, us LA natives. So, like, what do you think you...
Well, I mean, I think that I meet a lot of people that say they want to act, but they're not really doing anything to do. I think because I've been around the industry, I know I don't know everything, but I have a kind of a grip of what the steps I need to take in order to become better and what I got to do. I got to get an agent. I got to do this. I got to do that. So I think there definitely is an advantage. Being out here and being in around that industry for sure. Yeah, I would say that it has helped. I would say that.
So your ethnicity, let me get this right. You're Black, Mexican, Spanish, Portuguese, and Irish. And growing up,
How'd you know that? That's crazy.
I got it all up here.
Usually I just like give them 3 because it's just too long. I'll be like, yeah, Mexican, Black, Portuguese. That sounds
And a lot
exotic.
of others.
Yes, and a couple others. Yeah.
Well, I love it. And also, you grew up speaking both English and Spanish, right? Was there ever a time in your childhood, growing up, in your teenage years, whatnot, that you felt more connected to a certain part of your heritage than other parts?
That's an interesting question because also because I am mixed, it's always been this, and not so much me, but people made me feel like I had to make a choice. Like, I had to, are you Black or do you identify with your Mexican side more? For a long time, I was flip-flopping. I was like, I don't know, I'm confused. Like, I feel like a Black woman, but I feel like I love my Mexican culture and my grandmother and my grandfather. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, no, I just accept that I am a mixed woman and a biracial woman, and I definitely love being a Black woman. I love Black people. I love Black men.
Shout out to Nick Perdue.
The culture is just so rich. So I would say I definitely wouldn't say I identify with being Irish. It's just part of me, or Portuguese. I don't know how to speak Portuguese. I don't really know any of my Irish family. So it'd probably be just the Mexican and the Black parts of me.
Cool. So, Erica, after high school, you then went on to pursue your education, pursue a fine arts program, pretty distinguished program at Marymount Manhattan. But however, about halfway through your coursework, you got an amazing professional opportunity to travel with a Grammy Award Winning Artist, and you left school. Considering your passion for acting and performing, and we'll get to the fact that you've done this your whole life, all growing up, was that a tough choice to leave school and go on, do the artistic thing?
I probably shouldn't say this.
No, you
but-
should. Go for it.
You should.
That's exactly why you're here. Go for it.
You know what? School is not for everyone, and I respect everyone. Maybe one day I'll go back to college, but specifically the school that I was at, I didn't feel like I was getting everything that I could. I felt,
Was it a conservatory style?
well, you know, they're
Institution?
mostly known for their dance program.
Okay,
And
interesting.
really, I got into a lot of great colleges, but I merely chose Marymount based on location. I just wanted to be in New York.
New York City.
I didn't care what school I went to, and that was my mistake. I went to the school and I didn't feel challenged, and I just was uninspired there. So it wasn't hard for me to leave. It was hard for me to leave New York. I love New York, but the school was not hard for me to leave. So when I got that opportunity, I had to take it. I felt like that was going to be a priceless education for me. And it was. It was an amazing experience for
Okay.
3 years of my life.
That makes sense. And wanted to hit on this, but you kind of touched on it. Do you think you would, at any point in your career, maybe say, maybe I'll go take some coursework and
Yeah, I mean, I take classes from every now and then, the things that interest me specifically.
Right.
I'm not interested in taking, calculus or math was never my strong suit. Definitely, I think I definitely would love to get like my BA just for my mom and
Cool.
to make her happy. I have a little brother now, and I'm like, yo, you need to go to school. Don't do
Yeah.
what I did. And he's super creative, and he's already like, forget about school. I'm like, no, somebody has to finish, okay?
Yeah, because we get, a lot of guests come in and some of them have and some of them haven't, and it's always neat to hear people's perspectives. But I will say the ones that have, and you guys give me your feedback on this too, they are, I've never heard anybody sit on the couch, finish school, and regret it.
No.
You know what I mean?
I
Never.
definitely don't think
Yeah.
that. I mean, I just, a lot of my friends have been graduating this year, getting their masters, finishing law school, and there's definitely some envy there for me. Like, I'm just like, man, if I would have I wonder what if I would
Stuck
happen if
with
I would
it.
have just stuck with it, but I wouldn't be doing this right now.
Right,
Yeah.
and you can always go back to school.
And I can.
That's the good news.
I can.
Awesome.
Definitely.
So tell us about this Grammy Award Winning Artist that you worked with.
Well, her name is Macy Gray.
Oh,
Okay.
very cool.
nice.
We were all wondering. Okay.
Yes.
So what was that like? What was the experience like traveling and this and that?
Well, I started working with her when I was 19. I was really young. She didn't even know how old I was. I'm pretty sure I lied. I started off just doing her hair and makeup.
Cool.
And no, I'm not a hair and makeup artist.
Okay.
I watched my mom, and I can do what I can do. I can probably only do Macy's makeup. And then eventually her assistant left, and she asked me to be her full-time assistant. And so I traveled all over the world, like
awesome.
around about 3 times.
Wow.
It was such a great experience. I will say there are a lot of places that I would love to visit again that I didn't really get to experience, because when you're on tour, it's just
Yeah.
like
You
you're in there
go.
and you're out. You don't, you're like, damn, where was I yesterday? So it was a great experience. I definitely learned, discipline, focus, patience, sometimes not being politically correct at times, because sometimes I just can blurt things spew out of my mouth. So I got to learn to okay.
Woosah. Eric, I'm just curious, where would you go back in terms of places that were your favorite spots that you'd like to spend more time in?
I would want to go back probably to Rome, or
Wow.
just Italy in general. We went to Rome, and I wanted to go to Venice and Florence. I wanted to just see it all. And France, we were there for literally like a day. I saw the Eiffel Tower for maybe
A
20
second.
seconds.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, I didn't even get a picture in front of it. It was disappointing. And Dubai. We went to Dubai. We spent like maybe 2 or 3 days, but I loved that city, and I would love to spend more time there.
Cool. I'll put that on my
Yeah.
list.
I know,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Let's take
It's very
notes.
glamorous in the desert.
How did that opportunity come about for you?
Actually, my mother does her makeup, and she was telling my mom, I need someone to go on tour with me. And my mom's like, well, my daughter just dropped out of college, so
She needs a job here.
maybe you want to meet her. And so Macy took a chance on me, and you know what? Thank you, Macy, because she changed my life, definitely.
That's really cool.
That's awesome.
I love
good.
it. Well, we know you've had some success as a child with modeling and acting and whatnot, and you're now starring in a television series, which we will get into a little later.
Okay.
But did you ever have any quiet time between those peaks of success?
Oh, definitely. I mean, I think when I first started acting, I was doing modeling. I was doing a lot of print work when I was around like 9 and 10. I started auditioning for like film and television when I was around 12, 13, and then I went to high school. And when I was in high school, I was still auditioning. I just didn't. I wasn't taking it very seriously. I was just being a teenager. I just wanted to hang out with my friends, and so I think that during that period of my life, I was still booking things, but not as much as I probably could have because I was being a crazy little teenager brat. And then I went to college, and I was like, I could go to school for theater, but I just wanted to have some other experience, like some other, I don't know, backup plan, which now looking at it, it's like I don't have a backup plan, and I can't live my life having backup plans because I won't go full-heartedly into it. So, so in college, I guess, and then when I worked for Macy, it wasn't until really I stopped working for Macy that I really buckled down and fully focused all my energy on it, and that was probably 4 or 5 years ago.
Cool.
But
Did you have training classes in terms of for acting and technique and things like
Yeah,
that?
I did it as a kid, and I do now.
Okay, cool.
I've been, I don't know if you're familiar, his name is Aaron Spicer. I've been with him for a while.
Cool.
And yeah, I love class.
Awesome.
It's good.
During your quieter times, how did you kind of keep the faith and continue to pursue your acting career?
I've always been creative. I've always been writing. I do music as well, and so I think my focus is that's what happened. My focus went from acting to music, and I was really pursuing music hardcore. I was meeting with labels and writing for people, and that became like a big passion for me. I was just trying to explore different elements of my creativity, But then I still do music now, but acting is definitely my number one. But I don't limit myself creatively at all. I'm down to write, produce,
Anything,
Yeah.
She expresses herself. I love that. Well, speaking of acting being your number one, you currently star on the Fuse Network's new hit series, The Hustle.
I do.
And you play a character named Yaya, and she's a young businesswoman, very savvy, working in a male-dominated world of hip-hop in the business side of that. Can you talk about how your experience as a young woman yourself, how that relates to what Yaya's kind of experiencing in such a male-dominated industry? Because the entertainment industry in general is a beast. So,
I would say, well, I actually when I came back from New York, before I worked for Macy, I worked at Geffen Records, so I interned there, and so I think that really drew a lot of inspiration from there, being around a lot of men and women, but I've definitely picked up that the men were making the decisions.
Right.
Not all of them, but I definitely saw that it was a lot more difficult for a woman to gain respect in her ideas, especially in hip hop, in rap, which is mainly the area that I was working in when I was there. Yeah, I mean, I think I drew from that, and just me being a woman and also an actor. I mean, it's acting. I mean, especially Black women in acting. I mean, it's difficult,
Right.
And at the end of the day, a lot of men are making decisions in both industries.
yes. Yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, I have a lot of material to draw from.
Good. Well, we're excited to see where it goes. Absolutely.
Well, with your character being in this business and having your mom as a very savvy businesswoman, was she inspirational for you in playing that role?
Yeah, definitely. Yaya's still trying to figure it out. My mom's got it figured out. She does.
Right.
So I drew some of that, but not all of it, because my mom is so, she knows what's going on all the time. She's very on top of it. And Yaya's on top of it, but she's still trying to figure it out. She's messing up along the way, too. So I would say I drew from that, but definitely from just me being a woman too and trying to figure it out. I drew from myself. I'm not always making the right decisions either. Sometimes, I'm thinking about my career before other things sometimes too. And just like Yaya, I don't know if you saw that episode where she was like, had to decide if she was going to side with her boys or the label. And she chose the label because she's trying to take her career to the next level too,
Right.
So it's difficult.
So now, how much of Erica is actually in the character Yaya?
I think there's a lot of me in there. I would say she's more, as far as aesthetically, maybe not so much. She's more of a tomboy, and I have my tomboy days, but I love my heels and my makeup
Fabulous.
done
Yes.
and do all that fancy stuff. But I would say we're both very strong-minded. We're both very independent. I do have a lot of male friends, but I do have a lot of really strong female figures in my life that I don't know where I would be without. Whereas Yaya, at least right now, we haven't explored that. Right now, Yaya, she's doesn't really have a lot of female friends. All her friends are dudes.
She's one of the boys.
Right. Yeah.
So I would say probably that's where we differ.
Okay.
in that
Okay.
sense, yeah.
So now, working with Prentice Penny, right, who's the creator and the executive producer of The Hustle, how were you introduced to the role of Yaya?
Actually, I auditioned for another role for the pilot presentation that Prentice did, and Tim Story was directing, and I was playing another part. I was playing Monique. I don't know if you remember. She was she was a secretary that got fired and ended up telling Yaya, giving Yaya some information and leeway into getting her boys dropped from a label she was trying to get them dropped from. And then I hadn't heard anything. The pilot, I didn't know what was going on. It was like a year had gone by, and then my agent was like, "Oh, you have an audition for this new show." And I was reading the sides, and I was like, "I know this." But I was auditioning for Yaya, and I was like, "Oh, I'm about to kill this," because I already kind of knew the world, and when I was shooting the pilot, I was like, "Damn, I would kill Yaya." I'm gonna get there. So Prentice, he believed in me and he gave me the opportunity. And the
Don't
rest,
you love how the world works like that sometimes?
Yeah, it just came
you
full circle.
Organic, yeah.
And you know what? I'm blessed that I'm happy that I did both roles because maybe I wasn't ready for Yaya then. So that's how it goes.
Perfect timing. Well, we know that your co-star is your co-star London. It's also from Los Angeles.
He was here, right?
Yeah. What did you guys do to prepare yourself for working on a series based in New York, based in Brooklyn?
Well, for me, I don't know what he did, but I mean, I know when the whole show happened so quickly, and we had to have these, we were best friends for years, all of us, so we had to, build these relationships really quickly.
Right.
So the moment we all knew who was who, we started just hanging out, and we only had a few days, but we hung out heavy, trying to build that bond. But as far as the Brooklyn and the New York element, I mean, I think I took that from my own personal experience living in New York.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of friends that are from New York. Some of my best friends are from Brooklyn. I also watched a lot of videos to make sure my accent was right, So yeah, there was research involved for sure.
Excellent. Cool.
So you've already had kind of an inside look at the music industry while working with Macy and traveling the world with her, I'm sure. But did working on this show change your perception of the music industry at all?
Change my perception. I wouldn't say it changed my perception. I would say that it maybe solidifies some of the things that I kind of already knew. That I was like, I wonder if anybody else thinks this stuff goes down. And then I read the script. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm not gonna
There you go. Was there anything that you were able to see through a different perspective?
Well, I mean, definitely managing a group. I mean, I've never really managed a group, and it's like taking care of children. Something me personally have no interest in. I got dogs. I'm good. So I think, seeing Yaya go through her daily struggles of trying to please both sides, it was just a tug and pull, back and forth. I think that gave me an insight to what people are dealing with on a daily basis, constantly in the industry, and trying to please people and, making sacrifices and doing things you don't really want to do or doing things you don't really believe in so that you can do things you believe in,
Yeah.
So I would say that.
And some people say that The Hustle was what was needed for TV, since we had this new surge of artists.
Oh, I hope so.
In the past year or so, right? But do you think that the show will, probably hinder people from actually going into the music industry once they see how much hustle is actually involved?
I mean, I hope. I mean, you know what? If the show just makes you feel that way, then you weren't meant to do it.
Yeah.
That's the end of the story.
takeaway.
Because that's what I tell people, with acting. It's sometimes, you go on that first audition and you book a movie and you're famous, but 90% of the time, that's not what happens. And I've been auditioning for a long time, and I know that this is what I wanted to do, and whether or not I had booked the hustle or not, I would still be doing it.
Yeah.
And you just have to keep going with it if it's something you really want. So if you watch the hustle and you decide you don't want to be a rapper, then you weren't supposed to be a rapper.
Yeah. If
Yeah.
that's all it took to deter you from your goal,
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
totally see what you're
One
saying.
show.
You know?
Yeah.
So that's what
Cool.
my opinion.
There's quite a few shows out there now that kind of detail the music industry. You have Nashville, which
I love that show.
Oh, me too. I'm a big fan. You know, country music industry. You have Smash, which got canceled, but you know, it detailed Broadway. And there's a lot of critics out there who say that these shows aren't being very accurate and depicting the entertainment industry or the music industry fairly. And then on the flip side, you have reality TV like X Factor, American Idol, which makes it look like it's just like so easy. You know, you just go stand in line and you got it.
Yeah.
Do you think that The Hustle gives an accurate depiction of what the hip hop industry is really like?
I do. I mean, I mean, personally, I mean, I'm not immersed in the hip hop industry. I mean, my boyfriend, he's a rapper, but so I've been around that. But I would say that there's definitely a rawness to our show. You know, as raw as you're going to get, you know, we're not on HBO.
On
so
network
you're not,
television.
So
Yeah.
we're not going to be, you know, cursing people out and, you know, but Fuse gave us a lot of, you know, wiggle room to do our thing. And I think, especially, you know, if we get a second season, which we will, then we'll have even more opportunity to even bring more to the table as far as, you know, revealing how that industry really works and how it really is. But I think we did a really great job, and I would say that it's a good depiction of the hip hop industry.
Cool. Well, Jessica brought up reality shows, and when you look at reality shows now that we have, particularly ones that focus on hip hop, like Love and Hip Hop and Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, the depictions of Black women in those series is not the most positive. Putting it mildly. What are your thoughts on that? Because I hear something behind it.
Well, okay, so I used to watch those shows. I had to nip that in the bud. 'Cause
Yeah.
it was just, I felt like as a woman, I was like, why am I contributing to this?
Right.
It's just,
No, that's so real though, Erica. I'm glad that you're saying this because I never watched that, but I used to watch Basketball Wives.
Basketball, yeah.
Yeah, you know. But then when I saw a grown woman run up on a table to physically assault another woman, I couldn't anymore. Like in good conscience.
no, it's just never
Yeah.
that serious. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. The things they're arguing about are not that serious.
Not at
You know what
all.
I'm saying? And it's all for the camera. It
Yeah.
really is. I mean, I'm sure that they're upset and all that, but I can't do it.
Right. So in the spirit of
It's
I can't, it is. No, really, it is. It's totally. Whew, girl,
I did
I'm
it,
with you.
but I'm done.
And I think that I was talking about this the other day. I love when we as Black people, but as young people in general, can get to a place of evolving on some of these issues. Just because we used to do stuff doesn't mean we have to continue doing stuff. And that's can be related. We were talking about in the context of the N-word. But whatever it is, like sometimes when you know better, you do better. And when you're conscious of some things, it's okay to make a different choice and not have to feel like a hypocrite because of it. I think a lot of people are afraid of hypocrisy. It's not. You've learned of something new, you appreciate it in a different way, and you make a different choice. So I think that's great. Different side of that coin, are you proud of the way women are portrayed on The Hustle?
I am. I definitely am. I'm so proud to play Yaya because I feel like she's a strong woman, you know what I'm saying? And she's not her role is not her look, her image, her body, her face, her hair. You know, there's an episode where she was revealed and you're like, okay, yeah, you got a little dress on, got your hair straight. And that's just normal as a woman, you know, but and even Devetta
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
she plays Cecily.
She used to be on
and
Young and the Restless, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
And even her, I mean, yes, she plays, Cutta's baby mama, but she has her own career going. She's doing her own thing. Like, if Cutta wants to mess with her, she's here, but if he's not, then she's good, And I really love that Prentice did that. And I'm so happy that I could be part of something like that because I'm all about female empowerment.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So, Los Angeles or New York? In your opinion, which city do you think requires the harder hustle? And what are the differences between the two hustles?
I would say, okay, they both require hustles.
Yeah.
New York is just harder on just your body and just like your life in your pocket. You know, like living in New York is a hustle. Just even if you're not trying to be in the music industry or if you're not trying to be an actor, it's just
the lifestyle.
the lifestyle is
yeah.
just.
You could be an accountant in New York and be on a hustle. I'm
Yeah,
serious.
no,
Yeah,
really.
yeah.
And
It's
in
a lot of
LA,
walking.
it's a little. I will admit, LA is a little. After I moved from New York back to LA, I was like, why is everyone moving so slow here? I was like, but wait, this is where I'm from.
That's
I'm
so
so
funny.
I know like LA is just it's a little more chill, it's a little more laid back. I would say you still have to be on your hustle. It's a little easier to get off your hustle in LA though. You can
Yeah, I could see that. Because I think, like, if you look around you, if you're one of those people that pays attention to, the energies around you, almost everybody's on some kind of hustle in New York, like what you were speaking about. Versus LA, some people are. Some
you
people
call your
aren't.
friend, you're like,
Yeah.
what are you doing? You're like, oh, I'm just chilling.
Chilling.
Yeah.
At the house.
Right.
I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. What are you doing? Oh, I'm at the beach.
Right.
Like, you don't hear that in New York. Oh, I'm on the train. Oh, I'm at work. Oh, I'm going to my second job. It's like, you know.
Plan their beach days
So
in advance.
Exactly. So, you know what? I would say probably that New York probably has a stronger hustle out there.
Yeah, makes sense.
LA people don't get mad at me.
It's all good. All good.
Well, let's switch gears a little bit. You contribute to swirlgirlarmy.com,
Yes.
which is a blog about multicultural and multi-ethnic fashion and beauty. Tell us a little bit about this website and why you think that it's important for that voice to be heard.
Oh, I'm so glad you asked me about that. My friend Liz Brinson, it's her blog, and she started it recently, and I think it's such a great idea because it's not just it's not just like black and white girls. It's just like a swirl girl in general. Like my mom is a swirl woman. She's Mexican, Portuguese, Irish, and it's just, it gives us a platform to talk about, our dreams, our desires, what we're doing. And then she also, Liz is really into, fashion and beauty. So we give you can give beauty tips and what you use. I've gotten some tips off there. I'm like, oh, really? That's what you use? Okay. Use that.
Right.
But I just think it's a great platform for women where people don't know. A lot of times people don't know where to put swirl girls. Like where, like you said, like which side do you identify more with? And it's just like, why do I have to identify with any side? Why can't I just be a human? You know?
Right.
So I think that blog is such a great, provides such a great opportunity for women to just, be that, and really, and talk about, their heritage. And Swirl Girl Army is the bomb.
Yay. Okay, that's awesome. Your cultural identity is clearly a huge and very proud point of your identity. And in the wake of some of the things that have gone on recently in our society, I'm talking about whether it's the Zimmerman verdict or more particularly the controversy with the Cheerios ad that highlighted the
I just saw
biracial
that,
family.
yeah.
Is it troubling to you that our country, that we're also proud of and happy to be a part of, but that we're still struggling so much when it comes to racial tensions? Is that?
Oh gosh, yes. It broke my heart. The Trayvon Martin thing, like, it broke my heart. I can't, like, I'm gonna cry talking about it. But, and then the Cheerios thing, it was so interesting to me because I don't know if you saw the one where they had the kids,
The natural
react.
reaction, yeah.
And it made me feel good though that children were so like, what's the big deal? I don't get it, But at the end of the day, it's like those are.
How long will they stay uninfluenced? That's
How
the
long will they stay
question.
uninfluenced? Maybe I hope that's our future. But the people that are grown and are running things and making decisions, it's a scary, very scary thought. And I just feel like it's become really a bigger issue in the last few years. It's like it has this resurgence of like this racism, and it's crazy. I was actually, when I was in Chicago, I was walking down the street and this guy came up to me and he was like, hey, would you like to sign up to, stop the KKK? And I was like what? Like, I had never been asked that. I was like, whoa, that's like I mean, I know that that's still an issue, but it was just like, wow, okay, so we're, okay. I was like, yeah, I would.
Give me that clipboard.
I was like, where do I sign? And actually in Chicago, it was the first time I experienced outward racism towards me.
Really?
Yeah. It was
Tell us.
I was walking by Wrigley Field, and some guy walked by me and my friend and called us the N-word.
This past trip?
And I didn't even know what to say. I was just dumbfounded. I was like, what? What? Did he just say? And it was too late. Like, he'd walked away, and I was like, I had all this anger. Like, I wanted to be violent. And I was like, you know what? That's exactly what he wants. So I'm just going to calm it down and breathe.
Girl, you just telling me that. I'm like, ooh, I need to, let me get some water.
He's a relative of Paula Dean. That's what happened. He was
Damn it, Paula.
Damn, Paula. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, so I mean, and just that experience and the whole Trayvon thing and the Cheerios thing, I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Well, and then, it's really bad because, I mean, you look at even what our courts are doing and our legislative stuff. Like, people are they if
Taking
they're
steps
not,
back.
yeah, like you're gutting the Voting Rights Act. Really? Really?
I read about that.
Yeah, it's not good, and it makes us all concerned about where we're moving as a society in terms of inclusion. I think, you know what I think it is? I think that there's a generation, our generation, that has a more inclusive view of this country, and I think there's a generation that comes before us that is resisting that in a strong way. And that's the tension that I think is going
No,
on.
I agree. I definitely agree. I
sad.
mean, those people that were acting a fool back in the 60s and the 50s, they're still alive. They're just in
Yeah.
positions of power now.
Yeah.
They've
Right.
camouflaged into the government and everywhere else. So when people think that that is all in the past, it's very much still around. It's just
Right.
has a little sheet over it. But now the sheet is starting to tear, and it's just it's scary.
That's fantastic commentary. Yeah.
It's scary.
Well, on a lighter note,
Okay.
Right.
before the interview started, we got a chance to meet your boyfriend. Very lovely.
Yes.
And your dog is cute too.
Thank you.
Growing up in the NFL, have you been prone to athletic type of guys, like drawn to?
No. I, well, maybe like in high school. No, not really. I mean, I did date like the star football player in my high school for like 3 months. Then he broke up with me. Shout out to Carrie Harris.
Such a loss for him, young Carrie. Yeah.
Carrie Harris. See?
Played
Messed up.
yourself.
Yeah.
Oh man, I shouldn't have said that. No, I mean, you know what? My dad really drilled that in my brain. Like, Erica, do not date an athlete. Don't date anybody like me. Because we are not to be trusted. I'm attracted. I mean, you have a nice physique and are tall, and but there's just something I just don't quite I don't know. I can't trust completely. But I'm not gonna. I'm open. I don't know.
Okay, I'm stepping right here. One quick question. So, okay, again, current events. Aaron Hernandez facing charges of first-degree murder, former tight end for the Patriots. And I was talking to my mom about this. It seems like there's a professional athlete, football normally, but also NBA players, getting in trouble every other week in a big way. Now, with your father being the Hall of Famer that he is, but, a different day of the NFL, do you feel like there's a disconnect, like these young professional athletes are, because I feel like there used to be a very positive reputation associated with NFLers, and they used to do endorsements for products and things like this all the time. We don't even hardly see much of that anymore.
Yeah.
Well, I think the biggest reason for all of that is money. Because my father, when he played his signing contract, I can't even remember what he told me. It was like $1 million. Something that was a big deal.
Huge deal, yeah.
If you gave like a
Right, that's
first
the
round
practice squad now,
if you
yeah.
gave the first round pick in that draft, whatever the hell it's called, in NFL $1 million, they would laugh in your face. You know what I'm saying? People are getting hundreds of millions of dollars
Yes,
now.
yes.
And so these kids, they come from nothing, and they have all this money, and they just don't know
what to
how
do.
to act. They don't know what to do, and you can't even blame them. I feel like when you give someone that much money and they come from a different lifestyle, there has to be some sort of education for them. Like, something has to happen, because it's just. And then you read about these athletes that, once they retire, like 2 years later, they're broke.
Yeah.
Because they don't know what they're doing, and it's so sad. It's really sad that, and I blame them, but I blame, I have to blame like
The system. Yeah.
as well, because they're basically, perpetuating it. So.
Yeah, true. All right, as a woman in this industry, you talked about earlier, you're not ready for the kids thing yet or whatever. Do you think it's possible, though, to have it all, as they say, in terms of super successful, busy career, possibly husband, kids, if that's something they're interested in, and an active, fun social life? Is that obtainable in this day and age?
I don't know. I mean, I guess I won't know until that happens. I think the active social life probably was going to suffer a little bit. But I think it's possible to have a successful career and a family and children. I think you would have a social life, but it definitely is going to be,
Smaller.
smaller for sure. I mean, we see celebrities do it all the time. I mean, the Matt Damons, Brad Pitt has, how many kids does he have?
Right.
I mean, I guess if you
In an
make
extreme
enough,
case.
if you
Right.
have enough help,
Okay.
anything is possible.
There you go. That's a solid answer.
So what is Erica Dickerson currently listening to? Like, what's in your iPod, in the car?
I have a really eclectic. I listen to a lot of different stuff. Right now, I'm listening to this DJ. They're a duo. They're called Disclosure. They're awesome. I have Kanye West's album on repeat.
Yeezus?
Yes, Yeezus.
Really?
Oh. See, I wasn't sure about it, but now it's grown on me, and I kind of love it. And I'm biased because I love Kanye, so I kind of am gonna love anything he puts out. Robin Thicke's new song. I
you
know
go.
some of the guys hate on that song, but I love Blurred Lines, and same with Pharrell, Daft Punk, Freddie Gibbs.
Okay.
What else do I love? What else am I listening to? I like to listen to my old favorites too. I love Erica Badu is my favorite artist. I've seen her in concert like a million times. Actually, when I was in Chicago, I went to go to Pitchfork Music Festival. That's why I was out there.
Oh, cool.
And so I saw Bjork, which is I crossed it off the bucket list. That's been a dream of mine forever. R. Kelly.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
People hate on R, man. He's
Man.
He
King of R&B.
Might have stole like the whole like festival for me. Like didn't know what to expect. I was like, does he have the same voice? What is he gonna
amazing.
do?
I think he's better live.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
And he was in his city, so he was. Whew.
Step in the name of love.
He was. You just forget how many hits he has, and he was just freestyling, like just singing random stuff. I was like, okay, R. Kelly. So yeah, I listened to a little bit of everything.
That's cool.
So you've been working actress for many years now. Do you want to step behind the camera, maybe produce something, direct something? Like, is that kind of where you want your career to go?
I'm not. I'm definitely open to it. I wouldn't say that that's what I'm focused on right now. I've dabbled a little bit in writing. I don't feel secure in it yet. It's so interesting trying to sit down and write something. You think that just having a conversation, you can just write it because you're talking all day long. But when you actually have to sit and write, I'm like, does that sound natural? That doesn't sound like what I would say. But I definitely am interested in that. I'm not closing those doors at all.
Okay. And then what would your dream project be?
My dream project. Right now, at this very moment, there's a project that I would love to be involved with, and it's the Sam Cooke project.
Ooh,
Okay.
So that's my dream project right now.
fascinating. That he has a very fascinating story.
He does,
Yeah.
and I've been researching him, and
goodness.
I didn't even realize all the complexities of his life and
Yeah.
his wife's life.
And didn't marry somebody. Oh, it was crazy.
Yeah, his wife Barbara then went on to marry.
the man that they said. Who was it?
my
It was a
God.
Womack, right?
Well,
Wasn't
yeah,
it?
Bobby.
Bobby Womack. Yeah.
Yeah, 66 days after he died, she married him, and they
There was
lost.
like some suspicion that maybe Bobby had something to do with Sam's killing. Some people said that.
Oh, it was crazy.
crazy.
There's a lot of drama in that story, and I would just love to be part of all of it.
I'm excited about that now. Yeah, girl, go do that. All right, we're going to have some fun now. It's one of my favorite parts of the show. So it's going to be our game. So we're going to play Guess Whose Celeb Beauty Line That Is. So you and Jessica are going to go head to head.
Let's do
Nick,
this.
do you want to get in
Nick.
on this? Because I don't want to be discriminatory. If
I
you-
mean, if I know it, I'll know
No.
it.
No.
You either in or you
Right,
out.
you either in or you out.
I'll hop in and try and rep for the
Nah,
guys.
okay.
Can I hop in? I
Yeah,
can
you
just
can
hop in and just rep.
He's in.
Okay, you can
Alright,
hop
alright,
in,
alright.
but when you don't answer or you answer wrong, you get no points.
Okay.
Fine. Okay. All right. Phil, Steven, give me some game show music, please, gentlemen.
But can I
There we
can I
go.
start with 1 point?
No, you can.
No.
What kind of stupid,
I'm just
cheating.
because
unequal crap is that? Get out of here. All right.
See?
All right. You can resume, gentlemen. Thank you. First up, okay, so I'm going to name the line, and you ladies are going to guess the
Celebrity.
celeb.
Okay.
Okay? Nuance.
What's it called?
Nuance. This is relatively new.
Rihanna?
Halle Berry.
Lady Gaga.
Salma Hayek.
What?
Oh,
I didn't even know Salma Hayek had a line.
Yeah, that's new. That's new. And let me say, I picked this game especially for Erica because her mother is, in addition to being a celebrity makeup artist, she is the creator of the Beauty Blender. I mean, this is a phenomenal, awesome pink sponge that applies makeup perfectly. So, in the same vein of that, here we go. Back in the game, guys. Okay. Juice Beauty.
Is that Gwen Stefani?
I'm failing.
No,
Where
but
did you
that's
dig these
kind of
ones?
close.
Oh, hold on.
Kind of.
Kind of.
Okay, I'm going to give you hints. She's a fairly new mom. She starred in a 90s cult classic film.
Charlize Theron.
No. She named her baby something incredibly weird.
Gwyneth Paltrow?
Alicia Silverstone.
I would never think of
Yeah.
All right, this next one's easy. One of y'all is going to get this one. Okay, here we go. Back at it. The Honest Company. Somebody knows this. Y'all know this.
That's the name of a beauty line?
The Honest Company. It's a beauty line. And she's
I
kind
thought you
of...
said this one was easy.
This is the most probably popular one. Okay, this
Britney Spears.
celebrity
No.
has basically rebranded herself as like a mommy. It's almost
Oh,
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Nicole Richie?
close, so close.
No. She's not a
It overshadows her acting career almost now.
Kim Kardashian.
Oh, no, she don't have an acting career.
She was in a couple movies.
Jessica Alba. So you're kind of close with Nicole Richie. It's kind of close. Okay,
I-
back at it, guys. Come on, guys. Just 3 more. Meaningful Beauty. You probably have
Goodness
seen
gracious.
infomercials on this one.
Give us some clues.
Suzanne
Okay,
Summers.
supermodel extraordinaire.
Heidi
Cindy Crawford.
Claudia
Heidi
Schiffer.
Klum.
Cindy Crawford. Erica's on the board with 1. All right. All right. Okay. So we got 2 more. This line is called Chroma. Spelled
Kim Kardashian.
Yes.
The
All right.
Or the Kardashians.
The Kardashians. Yes. All right. Erica's got 2. All right. You really can't catch her, but we'll do it anyways. Flower Cosmetics.
Drew
Drew
Barrymore?
Barrymore.
Yeah.
That was a tie.
That was a tie.
That was a
So
tie.
Jessica got 1. Nick, you got a big fat 0, and Erica got 3.
What about Britney Spears, Taylor
These-
Swift, Beyonce? Like, what about all them?
These were difficult. Yeah.
Yeah, those were
That's
hard.
like the hardest game ever.
I know. You think I'm gonna give y'all an easy game? I'm a Virgo. Come on, Erica. No, that was fun. That was fun. All right, Erica's our reigning queen of beauty celeb lines. That's
Wait,
awesome.
I think we were tied.
No,
No.
you were not.
She got
You
Don't
got
do that.
1.
Don't do that.
She got 3. No, ma'am. All right. Okay, so we know that we're definitely expecting a season 2 of The Hustle. What else can we expect to look forward to seeing you on, Erica?
I'm going to be on the 2nd season of The Real House Husbands of Hollywood.
Ooh, yay!
nice.
We love that show here.
Yeah, Kevin Hart is hilarious. So you
Hilarious,
can check me out on
yeah.
the 2nd episode, I believe.
Cool.
And I did a movie with Regina King. She directed this film. It's called Let the Church Say Amen, starring Steve Harris and Leela Rashawn.
Oh, cool.
Excellent.
So I'm not sure when that's going to come out, but look out for that. It's going to be on BET.
Nice.
Awesome. She's fantastic. And where can people find you on social media, Erica?
You can find me on Twitter at Watch Erica, Instagram at Watch Erica. Yeah, that's about it.
Erica
Okay.
with a C.
Erica with a C, to
Yes,
be clear.
Watch Erica.
And you can find me at Ebony_K. Jess, where can people find you?
Find me at I am Jessica King on Twitter.
You can find me all over the internet at the Nick Perdue.
Whether you want to or not.
Yeah.
All right. That does it for us here at Black Hollywood Live. Next, thank you so much, Erica Dickerson, for joining us.
Thank you for having me, guys.
So
Appreciate
much
it.
fun. Yes. And till next time, Black Hollywood Live.
From
Next.
producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, Dario Kristen, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for tuning in to the Black Hollywood Live Network. If you have questions or comments, tweet us at BHL Online or email us at info@blackhollywoodlive.com. For more exclusive content, visit blackhollywoodlive.com. This has been a presentation of the Black Hollywood Live Network.
Hollywood
Twitter's gonna be blown
redefined.
up.
Go and be shady.
The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.